Okay, kitchen drawing part two. So I've got pretty basic floor plan here, um, and I want to start drawing elevations. So what I do when I'm going to draw an elevation is I work right off of my floor plan. So I'll draw, let's say, a line. So if you notice, and you've probably found this already, once I hover over this corner, a little green square pops up, and if I drag straight up, okay, that dotted line that's there stays, and that keeps me lined up right with that corner. And then if I go and highlight over there, it'll give me a little X, and that'll tell me. So right now that line's the same as this line. So let's say my ceiling height is 98 inches. I offset 98. And then what I do is come over, I highlight the top, the ceiling. I go to EX for extend these two lines, and these up, and he's giving me my wall thickness. All right, and then I highlight the bottom, and then here and here, and I trim it off. And I go back and I clean up the drawing there. So now I have my my elevation. Like we did yesterday, I'm going to draw on my countertop right at 36. I assume it's granite, so I come back down 1.25 inches. I want an 18-inch space to the bottom of the uppers, which is not drawing on there for some reason. Let's try that again. Offset 18. Okay, and then I come down with my a 3 3/4, pretty typical crown. Now, if I want to, I can come down. I can go in my profiles, click on A and B profiles. I like to use the 402 crown, which is where 402. I double click on that. All right, it's just saying that it's a read only, which is fine. I don't really care. All right, and then now I have my AB 402 crown molding. I get rid of the dimensions because I don't need them. I get rid of all this shit because I don't need any of that. I get rid of that, and then I just highlight this. Control C. I go back into my kitchen drawing, and I go and I plop this fucker here. Now you notice the crown is facing in that direction. I'm not gonna. The way I'm going to show it on the other wall is I'm just going to highlight it, hit MI for middle, right, and pops up over here in the other direction. Now obviously I don't want this going into the thickness of the wall. And the other thing is, if you don't even want to show the thickness of the wall, you could just do away with it pretty simply by getting rid of all this shit here. And you do the same thing over here if you want. However you like to do it. Get rid of all that. Okay, now I work right off of my floor plan. So I know that the whole kitchen's going to end right here, 8 inches off the doorway. Maybe I even want to draw my door. Or I could also come up here. I can go extend, and I can put in my doorway. I can do all this stuff. I can even draw in my window opening. All right, and then I simply come highlight this stuff, hit TR for trim. Get rid of all that. Highlight these. Oops, that didn't work. Control Z. Highlight these. TR for trim. Get rid of that. I know my door is 80 inches tall. I'm sorry, off the floor. And I know I have a 3.5 inch casing. So I go and I The reason I'm drawing the miters in is because off of the miters, I can get rid of the excess a lot more easily. The excess for the door information. I could get rid of that. I can get rid of the countertop. Now I just cut the countertop off and I thought to myself, I don't have an overhang. So I could just highlight those, hit stretch, and come out an inch, right? Line, and get rid of that. Now I got my 1 inch overhang back. Trim off there, and I could trim from the bottom of the countertop to get rid of all these things if I want to. Now for my window, it's probably 48 inches off the floor, so I offset the bottom of the window. I don't know what height it is, but let's say it's the same 80 inches, so I'm just going to come over and pull my 80-inch mark off of here, and I'm going to fillet. This is for my window. All right. And same thing down here. Now I've got my window. I can cut off, this is my sink. I can come and cut that off. Let's say I have a 3.5 inch casing around the window, so I highlight the whole thing, I join it, I go 3.5. All right, if I want to take the time, I could show my miters in here. If it's not to be trimmed in a picture frame and I want to show a window stool, then I can get rid of these 2 bottom miters. I know it's 3.5. I'm gonna have a 1 inch window stool, so I can just stretch this thing up to 2.5 inches. Give me a 1 inch stool. I can explode this by highlighting it. Control X, not control, but just X enter. I highlight the outside. I hit extend, and I show my window stool. All right. Now, what's different about the countertop that I did over here, to make that extend, it's going to be different over here, because if I try to highlight that there and I hit stretch, it's going to pull the whole side of the casing out. So I can't do that. But what I can do is offset an inch on both sides. Sorry. And explode that. What I can do is highlight 1 inch off the 2 sides. All right. And then extend this so I can show my ear. Extend that side. And highlight both of these and trim out the bottom. All right, so now I've got a window. If you want to take the time to show a window in there, you could do that. What I'll often do is draw some diagonal lines in here that look like glass. All right, I only draw them once, and then I go and I. All right, and then if I want to add a little more detail, I go and I show a window frame in there. All right, and then I'll do the same on this side. All right. Okay, now I have something that looks like a couple windows. And what I was saying earlier is if I don't want to really make it a big focal point, I'll highlight the whole thing and I'll make it gray. So when it prints out, just sort of in the background. Although I have to say I don't like that to frame. So let's keep this here white. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, then I have to decide how far off the window I want to keep my wall cabinets. So just pick an arbitrary number, whatever you want, 3 inches off, right? And then I'll highlight the bottom of the crown. I'll extend those up there. I'll I'll fillet the bottom so they join up. Right. Now these lines carried up from the base cabinets here and here, they don't really work for me. So I'm just going to get rid of them all together, and I'm going to design my wall cabinets independently. If by some chance they happen to be centered or the same size, that can make it really easy, because then I can just, let's see, one is 46.5 and one is 46, so they're not the same size. But we'll get to that later, so we can go ahead. And now we have some cabinets drawn. So these are all things that you're going to do. You're going to draw in 24 here. That's the inside of your Lazy Susan. I'm going to draw my kick up 4 inches. All right, I'm going to set it back 4 inches. I'm going to fillet this and this here. I'm going to highlight that, trim it, and get rid of all that. And then cut off the kick there. Now I've got, this is the side of my Lazy Susan, which I'll typically just draw an X into. Alright. Now you can either go and pull a door off of your library, or you can sit and draw them, but I'm going to, for right now, draw an 1.5" face frame, draw an 1/8 inch base, draw a 2.5 and 0.375 for profile. I'm going to draw a door. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to use this. Oops. Alright, now obviously I don't have a draw here and I want one, so I'm going to come inside here, inside my 1/8 inch reveal. I'm going to stretch this thing down 5, fucker. I'm going to stretch this thing down 5 5/8. Alright, I'm going to start another video because I'm already 13 minutes.